माधवा कुंज विहारी जय जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवरदारी गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवरदारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्री श्री गौर निताय की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, समावेत गौर भक्त वृंद की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमा ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः वन्दे श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यनित्यानन्दसहोदितौ गौडोदये पुष्पवन्तौ चित्रौ शम्दौ तमोनुदौ हे कृष्णकरुणासिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Welcome all of you. Welcome all of you for the Srimad Bhagavatam class this morning. We are reading from the 5th canto, 17th chapter, text number 14. Navas, you can repeat this. Navasvapi varsheshu भगवान् नारायणो महापुरुषः पुरुषाणां तद् अनुग्रहयात्मा तत्व यूहेनात्मनाद्यापि सन्निधीयते। नवस्वपि वर्षेषु भगवान् नारायणो महापुरुषः पुरुषाणां तदनुग्रहात्मतत्त्व व्यूहेनात्मनाध्यापि सन्निधीयते। नवस्वविवर्षेषु भगवान् नारायणो महापुरुषः पुरुषाणां तदनुग्रहात्मतत्त्वव्यूहेनात्मनाद्यापि सन्निधीयते। Navasu in the 9. Api certainly. Varsheshu tracts of land known as Varshas. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Narayanaha, Lord Vishnu. Mahapurushaha, the Supreme Person. Purushanam, unto his various devotees. Tadanugrahaya, to show his mercy. Atmatattvavyuhena, by expansions of himself in the quadruple forms, Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. Atmana, personally. Adya api, until now. Sannidhiyate, is near the devotees for accepting their services. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, to show mercy to his devotees in each of these 9 tracts of land, the Supreme Personality of Godhead known as Narayana expands himself in his quadruple principles of Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. In this way, he remains near his devotees to accept their service. You see, Aniruddha is in charge of the mind, Pradyumna in charge of the intelligence, Sankarshana is in charge of the false ego, and Vasudeva is in charge of the consciousness. So Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, these 4 deities have to be prayed daily for us to clear our mind, intelligence, ego and consciousness. In this connection, Krishna Chakravarti Thakur informs us that the demigods worship the Supreme Lord in his various deity forms, Archa Vigraha. Because except in the spiritual world, the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be directly worshipped in person. In the material world, the Lord is always worshipped as the Archa Vigraha or the deity in the temple. There is no difference between Archa Vigraha and the original person. And therefore, those who are engaged in worshipping the deity in the temple in full opulence, even on this planet, should be understood to be directly in touch with the Supreme Personality of Godhead without a doubt. As enjoined in the Shastras, Archye Vishnu Shiladhir Guru Shanaramatehi. No one should treat the deity in the temple as stone or metal, nor should one think that the spiritual master is an ordinary human being. One should strictly follow this Shastric injunction and worship the deity, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, without offenses. The spiritual master is the direct representative of the Lord, and no one should consider him an ordinary human being. By avoiding offenses against the deity and the spiritual master, one can advance in spiritual life or Krishna consciousness. In this regard, the following quotation appears in the Laghu Bhagavatamrita. Padme tu paramavyomnaha purvadye dikchatushtaye vasudevadayo vyuhash chattvara katitah kramat tata pada vibhutau cha nivasanti kramadime jalavrati stha vaikuntha stita vedavati pure Satyordve Vaishnave Loke Nityakhe Dwarakapure Shuddhodhat Uttareshveta Dvipe Chairavati Pure Shri Ram Buddhisti Stitante Kukroda Paryanka Ramani Satvatiye Kvachitantre Navavyuha Prakirtita Chatparo Vasudevadya Narayana Narasimhakau Hayagrivo Mahakrodo Brahma Cheti Navoditaha Tatra Brahma tu Vigneyaha Purvokta Vidhaya Harihi. In the Padma Purana it is said that in the spiritual world, the Lord personally expands in all directions and is worshipped as Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. The same God is represented by the deity in this material world, which is only 1/4 of his creation. Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha are also present in the 4 directions of this material world. There is a Vaikuntha Loka covered with water in this material world. And on that planet is a place called Vedavati, where Vasudeva is located. Another planet known as Vishnu Loka is situated above Satya Loka, and there is Sankarshana present. Similarly, in Dwarakapuri, Pradyumna is the predominator. On the island known as Shvetadvipa, there is an ocean of milk, and in the midst of that ocean is a place called Airavatipura, where Aniruddha lies on the Ananta. In some of the Satpatha Tantras, there is a description of the 9 Varshas and the predominating deity worshipped in each: Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Narayana, Nrisimha, Hayagriva, Mahavaraha, and Brahma. The Lord Brahma mentioned in this connection is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When there is no fit human being to empower as Lord Brahma, the Lord himself takes the position of Lord Brahma. Tatra Brahmat Vigneyaha Purvokta Vidaya Harihi. The Brahma mentioned here is Hari himself. So, the Supreme Lord who is present in the spiritual world, who, when he wishes to shower his mercy on all the jivas in this world, in a way they will be able to benefit from his association. He decides to appear as the Archa Vigraha. The Archa Vigraha form is glorified by the Srimad Bhagavatam in many places. There's one verse by Prahlad Maharaj. He says, Naivatmana prabharayam nijalava purno manam janada vidushak karuno vrinete yatyajjano bhagavate vidadhita manam tachatmane pratimukasya yatha mukashri. Prahlad is saying, my dear Lord, when people come to your temple, they may offer a banana or some flowers, or they may offer some milk to you or some grocery items to you. You know, they offer something very petty, very small, very little, as Lord himself says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. But even by offering that little offering along with their affection and consciousness, you know, the Lord doesn't benefit much, but they benefit immensely by offering to Lord. How? He gives an example. If you put a bindi on your forehead, in the mirror it automatically has a bindi. If you put a earring here, it comes in the reflection. If you put a nose ring, it comes in the reflection. So we are all tiny reflections of the Supreme Lord, all of us. So when we serve the Lord, we stand to gain. He doesn't benefit in any way. How? If you add 1 glass of water to Ganga, is Ganga going to benefit? Or if you took out 1 glass of water from Ganga and ran away, is Ganga going to lose anything? Ganga doesn't gain or lose, because Ganga has huge quantities of water. She is supplying for millions of living entities. Similarly, the Lord also, he cannot be benefited. You can't do any favor to him. You can't threaten him. You can't harm him. You can't favor him. You cannot cheat him. You cannot live without him also. You can't be independent of him. We are connected. We all depend on him either directly or through Maya. Nobody in this world can live without the supplies from the Lord. In fact, in the 2nd canto, 5th chapter, there is a very beautiful verse in which Brahma is telling to his son Narada that the Lord is compared to a spider. Why a spider? There's a reason for that. The spider brings something out of its mouth and it makes a kind of, what do you call that? Spider's web. It makes a web in the corner and then sits in the middle. You have seen that? Does it get entangled in that? No, sits very comfortably. Other flies, when they see the spider's web, they get fascinated. Some moth comes and gets stuck in that. Similarly, Mahavishnu is one of the expansions of Krishna. So he creates all millions of universes from his own body, like a spider creating from his own mouth. That means all the materials in this creation emanate from him. He creates them and he provides facilities for the living entities. He doesn't need anything from anybody. When we want to build any house, we only take the materials from the Lord and we combine them and process them and making pillars, making walls, making rooms and everything. So we have to beg and borrow from the Lord. Please kindly give materials. Not only that, we need some laborers to come and combine those materials to make table, chair, sofa, furniture, and also the walls, rooms, foundation, everything. We need the materials, we need the laborers, and we need the cooperation of laborers also. Sometimes they fight with one another. To get their cooperation to get the work done, is it not? And all these things, how do you get done? Say, if any of you got a plot of land in Hyderabad, now you want to build a beautiful house, what do you need? Of course, somebody is saying plan. Plan you need, but before the plan you need one more thing. Huh? Yeah, money. Money is called what in Sanskrit? Lakshmi, yeah. So with some money, few lakhs or few crores, you can construct a building. But Krishna has all Lakshmis at his lotus feet. Therefore, he can just tell the Lakshmi, do this. And all his Shaktis can create whatever he wants. Now it's clear now, correct now? By throwing money, you are getting the work done. And Krishna has all Lakshmis at his lotus feet. So why can't he get things done? Very easily, correct now? All energies are also coming from him. So we need things from the Lord for food, for clothing, for shelter, for everything we need. We cannot do anything on our own. Therefore, we cannot be considered like spider. But Lord can be considered like spider. Because spider produces something from its own mouth. And then it makes that web. Later on, the spider sometimes takes all the spider's web into its mouth again. And it goes to another place and makes another web there. Which means he can create, he can maintain, he can annihilate. All the three are done by him. Just like night you put your mat, you take rest, morning you wind up and take it and go. Correct, no? Like that the Lord can create. Sarva Bhutan, he says, Prakritim yanti mamikam kalpakshaye punastani kalpado visujamyaham, he says. Bhutagramasi evayam bhutva praliyate. So he can create and annihilate very effortlessly. So, but when we get stuck in this world, he has made a method for us to get liberated from getting stuck. How we do that? He is so merciful and kind. He comes in this world in his archa form. Lord says that, Prahlad Maharaj says, my dear Lord, by serving you, we become liberated from this world. We become, for example, if you take things and offer to Krishna, then you will not offer it to Maya. Correct, no? Otherwise, if you don't offer to the Lord, we are going to engage it in Maya service. So by engaging in Maya service, we become entangled. And by engaging in Krishna service, we get liberated. That is why Krishna and Maya both are attractive. The difference is, Krishna attracts and gives bliss. Maya attracts and gives punches. Correct, no? Both are attractive. But if we don't engage in Krishna service, we are going to engage in Maya service. That is how Maya, that's how we escape ourselves. Tava Mayam Jayamahi. Buddha says in the Uddhava Gita. We very easily conquer your Maya, Krishna. How? By accepting everything in relation to Krishna. We offer our body, our mind, our words, our home, everything to you. But for us to offer everything to Krishna, Krishna should come in a way that we can relate with him, isn't it? That is a deity form. Rupam Bhagavata tu ye tat ashesha klesha sankshayam avishkritam na klishtanam kimanyat anukampitam. Like that Prachetas is saying. Kimanyat anukampitam. What else can we say that when you come as the Archa Vigraha form, it is simply your mercy on us, he is saying. Kimanyat anukampitam. Why? Why it is mercy? He is giving an example. They are saying, we people are running after suffering, which we call as material enjoyment. What are we running after? No, you are not running after enjoyment. You are running after suffering. And for that suffering, another name is? How many of you understood this point? Correct, no? We are, my dear Lord, avishkritam na klishtanam. We people are always chasing after suffering, which is also called as material entanglement, yeah, material enjoyment. See, material enjoyment and suffering are synonyms. Yeah. So, like for example, let us say gross examples. Somebody goes to a shop and purchases a cigarette packet and smokes. So, is it all right to say that he is purchasing suffering or not? Now easily understand. Without hurting any of you, we can give example like this. Because none of you here smoke. So we can give example. In the same manner, whatever material enjoyment we chase after, we are chasing after what? Suffering. You chase after Krishna, you will get bliss. And you chase after material enjoyment, we get suffering. And that material enjoyment, you may wonder why is it said like this, because you don't get immediate suffering. You get subsequent suffering. That's the problem. Like night you ate some heavy junk food, suffering doesn't come instantly. It comes next day. Correct, no? Subsequently it comes like that. So, they are saying that in case you didn't come as Archa Vigraha in this world, we would be totally misled. But you are so kind, you are appearing in this world, accepting our services, and we can dress you, we can decorate you, we can ornament you, we can sing songs for you, we can dance in front of you, we can offer obeisances to you, we can circumambulate you, we can recite your pastimes. And the more we study the scriptures and look at you, the more our affection and respect for you can be rekindled again. Our love for you can be awakened. You are so kind. So like that they are saying. Now, today one main theme that I am going to share with you in this purport is how to go from mundane vision to spiritual vision. Because there are many items which are spiritual items, which we see them as mundane. How to go from that mundane vision? Mundane means material vision. How to go from material vision to spiritual vision? For example, there is one verse in Padyavali, Rupa Goswami Pad says, Atye Vishnu Shiladir Gurushu Naramatir Vaishnave Jati Buddhi Vishnor Va Vaishnavanam Kalimala Matane Pada Tirtemba Buddhi Sri Vishnu Namni Sakala Kalushuhev Shaude Samanya Buddhi Sri Vishnu Taditara Samadhir Yasya Vanaraki Saha is saying, six things he is saying. Do not treat the deity as made of materials, ordinary materials. And do not treat the Guru's body to be like your body or my body. And do not think of Charanamrit to be a very tasty water to drink. Some people say, give me one more glass. Keep drinking. Don't think of the foot wash of the Lord or the devotees to be a very nice beverage to drink. Don't think of the name of the Lord to be ordinary words. It's not ordinary words. He says, and don't think of the devatas to be equal to the Supreme Lord. Or don't think all devatas are on the same level with Supreme Lord. Don't think like this. He says, and don't think of Vaishnavas based on the Jati Buddhi. Don't think, oh, he's a Shudra, he's a Brahmana, he's Chandala. Don't think like he's a Mlecha. Don't think like that. Because once a person becomes Vaishnava, he transcends the lower nature. So 6 things he is saying in this verse. But although we said the 6 things now, our mundane vision makes us think from which platform? Mundane or spiritual? Mundane. So, how do we go from mundane vision to spiritual vision? The difference is realization. You can have knowledge and realization. Now, knowledge if we have, there are 3 stages. We look at everything with the ignorant eyes. Avidya chakshu. And then you can ascend to a stage where you have knowledge about these things. And then the 3rd stage is you have realization about these things. So the real spiritual vision comes in which stage? The realized stage. So, but in the stage of knowledge, we still may see as mundane. Nevertheless, we know that this is a wrong vision. This is not the way I'm supposed to see. I'm supposed to see with what vision? Spiritual vision. I'm still seeing things from a mundane point of view. I find fault with these 6 items which we said. So then how do we move from a mundane vision to the spiritual vision? How we get that Divya Chakshu to see? Let us give an example. See, a medical student who writes the NEET examination and gets into the medical college, MBBS, before getting into medical, they also might have been seeing all the people's bodies as simply a slab of flesh. Correct, no? They don't see anything behind that. But once they get into college, they do dissection of the body. They know inside the body what all are there. What is small intestine, big intestine, what is liver, what is spleen, what is pancreas, what is heart, and where are the kidneys, and different parts of the body, where are they located, and what function they do, what is their function, and how to repair them in case they go wrong or something like that. They study in great detail. Now that doctor seeing the body of a human being and you and I seeing, is it the same? No. It's a gulf of difference, earth and sky difference. Because now they realized in the MBBS knowledge now. Correct, no? Similarly, imagine at home, sometimes a kid may, break open a TV sometimes, or sometimes they break open some electronic part. When you take out the PCB, printed circuit board, it has got capacitors, diodes, triodes, PNP junction, all those things are there. So when somebody looks at it, can anybody make anything out of it? It's all looking like we draw this rangoli, we draw like this. It looks like that. It goes like this, goes like this, goes like this. We don't know what it is. But who can decode it and understand what it is? The electronics engineer, correct, no? One who is electronics engineer, they can understand it. No ordinary person cannot understand it. So in any field, even in material field, first you have to educate yourself. If you are going to remain with ignorant vision, and that means we are practically making nil progress. So that is the reason why the knowledge is so much emphasized. Why Prabhupada insisted on distributing his books. This is the reason. Because knowledge is like switching on a tube light in a dark room. When you switch on the light, immediately darkness dissipates and you can see things as they are. So without knowledge, we may be doing things as a religious person. That is called ritualistic religion. Now, what is the difference between ritualistic religion and religion with knowledge? There's a big difference between the two also. We have one session on why we do what we do. We have a session to explain why are we doing what we are doing. Like the ghee lamp we are offering to the Lord. Why? Because the 5 weeks represent 5 senses. And they are dipped in ghee. The ghee represents a false ego. So our 5 senses are always having ahankar. Our eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin in this world, we see from material vision. But we are burning away that ghee. We are telling the Lord, I am burning away my ahankar and I am engaging my senses for what? When you rotate it around the Lord, you are showing His beauty to the world. That means I will engage all my 5 senses in your service. With my eyes, I will see you. With my ears, I will hear you. With my nose, I will smell what is offered to you, sent. And with my mouth, I will eat only your prasad. With my mouth, I will only glorify you. And with my body and mind, I will engage in your service. So in this way, that's the meaning of this rotating this agarbati around the Lord's body. So when we understand why we are doing what we are doing when we do with knowledge, it's much better than when we do things in ignorance. Problem with doing in ignorance is, after some time the ritual will stop. You will see in some homes, people rigidly do ritualistic worship and all. And sometimes over the years, television comes and the puja room, it will be catching cobwebs. There's no one to pay attention. The sincerity, seriousness will go away. They will not be able to do it. Because ritualistically, for a long time, you cannot drag on. But when you have knowledge, you know that, how many of you, when you see junk food, it's attractive, but I'm not going to eat it. Correct, no? Correct? You look at it with knowledge. Eyes off, you see that, no thanks. Correct, no? People say like that. Correct, no? Somebody, even in a freezing winter, one fellow is selling ice cream. Still people buy and eat. Already there is freezing cold. You eat ice cream, your throat will be gone. Isn't it? So if you have knowledge, you will not do it. Like in train, I saw one fellow, he purchased a big Pepsi bottle. This much says. And he is drinking and feeding a small boy also, small kid. I don't know what will happen to the small kid. Because he has no knowledge. No knowledge. He's thinking it's like water he's thinking. It's not water. It's dangerous. So we need to cultivate knowledge. Then with knowledge, it's certainly better than the ignorance. Now the question comes, but how do we go from knowledge to realization? After cultivating knowledge, you know what is what. Theoretically, you know it. Theoretically, you know it. But how do you go from knowledge to realization? What is needed? So you will see there is Shraddha, Sadhusanga, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Rati, like that, and then Bhava and Prema. These stages are given. The real realization starts only after Nishtha. Till then, knowledge has to be very sincerely cultivated. So, like, other Shraddha means you have initially some little faith with which you see the devotees, you study the Shastra, you have some faith, some Shraddha is there. And then when you further proceed, you go for association with saintly persons who are faithfully practicing. So, like, why are we worshipping deity? Madhvacharya worshipped. Somebody is from Karnataka, they have a lot of respect for Madhvacharya. Or somebody from Tamil Nadu, they have a lot of respect for Sripad Ramanujacharya and Sripad Shankaracharya, isn't it? Similarly, somebody is from Bengal, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what exalted personalities these people were. They influenced lives of millions. So, they were purest of the acharyas, and they have deeply learned in Sanskrit, and they have given commentaries, bhashyams to so many of the Vedic literature. And they had thousands and thousands of disciples. And they have walked on the surface of the globe simply to distribute mercy. They were pure and detached materially, and they were very advanced in their attachment to Lord, and Lord reciprocated with them also, with each of them. Correct, no? And all these acharyas have established deities. You will see, Madhvacharya installed the Udupi Krishna. No, even the 30 wrestlers could not lift the deity, but he could very easily lift and keep on his shoulder and bring. He was singing a song, brought it from the Malpe beach in front of thousands of public, isn't it? Similarly, Ranganath was worshipped by Sripad Ramanujacharya, isn't it? Similarly, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fainted unconscious when he came to Jagannath Puri, seeing Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, isn't it? Sripad Shankaracharya installed Badri Vishal, isn't it? In the Badrinath, you will see. In 4 mathas he made in his time, and in all the 4 mathas he installed deities. There in Badrinath he has installed, you will see that. So if all these acharyas have not only installed the deities, they have personally worshipped the deities as the Supreme Lord, are we more intelligent than them put together? Isn't it? So if you have some Shraddha in the acharyas, that's how we begin in spiritual life. Then you want to read and learn what they have taught. So begin with Shraddha, then do Sadhu Sangha, then Bhajana Kriya means then you do the Sadhana. So there is one famous verse Prabhupada would often quote. Ata Sri Krishna Namadi Nabhaved Grahyam Indriyehi Sevon Mukeh Jihvadav Swayameva Swaratyadaha. This verse says that with gross senses we cannot perceive the spiritual truths. But the gross senses will be rendered into spiritualized senses. How? Just like iron rod, if you put in fire, it becomes fiery. Similarly, with the gross senses, you engage in seva. Sevan mugehi jihvadav. Start with tongue, he's saying. Tongue has 2 activities. Eat prasadam and chant the holy name. 2 things we have to do. Eat only prasad. Don't eat anything else. And chant only the holy name and holy fame. Don't talk pajalpa. Don't talk useless talk. So when you do these 2 things, then that is how the devotion service begins, he says. This is the beginning. And then eventually everything else will follow. Any student who never gave up chanting, 1 round also if he is chanting, he will be protected by Krishna, he will be put in association of devotees. Somebody gives up chanting, that means you are disconnecting with Krishna. Anybody who stops chanting. So chanting is actually like a hotline to God. Hotline in companies, they have hotline means anytime you can pick and talk. It's called hotline. It's always available. Connect with Krishna any time of the day. So in this way, start with that and gradually spiritualize the senses by these 2 actions to begin with. And we engage in devotion service not on our own, but we are handheld and spoon-fed by some Vaishnava whom we adore. If you have no adoration for any Vaishnava, then you cannot feel anything spiritual in this world. You need to have some Vaishnava whom you, from the bottom of the heart, you deeply adore. So you will see that then that Shraddha in that Vaishnava leads to Sadhu Sangha. Then only you take Sadhu Sangha. Now modern day education makes you an agnostic. Well, there was one devotee in Bangalore, he was from IIT Kharagpur. He told me that he met some people in ISRO, ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. So he met a group of scientists. So he was talking to them some basic principles of DYS, Discover Yourself course. He was talking to them. So they were very skeptical, not ready to accept everything. Then he said, "Oh, do you have faith in science?" They said, "No, we don't have faith in science also. We know what are the things happen. Yeah? Science cannot fully fathom the truth. We are still researching. There is no end to it. So neither do they have complete faith in science, nor do they have faith in God. And you are hanging in between like a Trishanku, agnostic. So you have no understanding of God, no understanding of. No matter how much you go deep in the field of science, the research keeps on going. And like for example, one man asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, why do you condemn this atheistic scientist? So Prabhupada said, see, what you know today, can you say it's ultimate truth? The man said, Swamiji, what we know today is more truer than yesterday's truth. That much we know. And Prabhupada asked, can you be sure tomorrow you will not come up with anything new? He said, Swamiji, how can you say that? We may come up with something new. Prabhupada said, that means you are always in ignorance. You don't know the complete truth. You only know better and better, imperfect, relative truth. You can never arrive at the absolute truth. But the Vedas, Veda Vak means you cannot perceive the truth on your own, but the Vedas have always stood the test of time. You will never find in the Vedas, suddenly Vedas rub their eyes and say, sorry, till now we told you are not the body, you are the soul. Now today onwards you are body. They will never say that. Whatever truth they said millions of years ago, same truths are going. I made one table with me. It has 25 truths that Vedas said. They never changed. But those 25 truths, what Vedas say, what science said is totally different. But now the science has admitted its mistake. And they have found out recently that what Vedas said is true. One example I'll tell you. The scientists said this universe is created, it's called Big Bang and Big Crunch. Only once it happens, they said. But the Vedas say several times it happens. Bhutva, bhutva, praliyate. It's created, annihilated, created, annihilated. Science said this is wrong. It's only happening only once. Now in 2022, they have come up with one theory called Big Bounce theory now. You can see in the Google. Earlier it was Big Bang theory, now it is. Big Bounce theory says the universe is several times created and annihilated. Yeah. Earlier, scientists said there is only one universe, they said. But the Vedas always said there are Ananta Koti Brahmand Nayak. We say, no? Ananta Koti Brahmand means not just 1 or 2 crores of Brahmandas are there. But now then scientists came up with parallel universes. There are many universes going on. So you will always see that they will not accept the truth. If you say, where is the nose? This is the nose. They will not accept. No, we will find out. Is this the nose? No. Is this the nose? No. Is this the nose? No. At last they will say, now we found out nose is here. So by the time you will lose time. Yeah, you will lose your time. You will lose your age. Like when the day I entered IIT Bombay, the first day I went to library, there was an article in the paper, no life on Mars. There's a big heading in the first page of the newspaper, no life on Mars. 2 years later, I went for getting no dues, different departments. I went to library, there's a big heading, life on Mars. So when I saw that, I got one realization on that day. Imagine when I am 20, scientists say there is no reincarnation. I accept their word. And when I am 80, I am about to die, they say reincarnation. Isn't it? So these fellows are not trustworthy. You will be cheated. Correct? No? But Vedas have never changed anything like that. Whatever Vedas said million years ago, the same truth stands now. So, therefore, if you have faith in science, hear from those who know science very deeply. If you have whatever skeptic eyes you have, that skeptic vision has to be first dissolved by sadhu sangha. Sadhu means one who can cut misconceptions to pieces. That is the meaning of a sadhu. So, and sadhu can present the truth. So, Srila Prabhupada, when he went to the West, he challenged it. Life always comes from life. Prabhupada said, show me. And Prabhupada was telling, you guys are saying you will produce life, you will produce life. Chicken is a better scientist than you, Prabhupada said. Why? Silently it lays an egg and then a chicken comes out. At least it produced life. You are only talking, you can't do anything. You can't produce. Prabhupada said, show me from dead matter, one living form, one mosquito, show me. They cannot show it. All living forms always come from them. So this is why we need, initially if you are a student of science, your nose will be cut and you will be very hurt. When you read Prabhupada's dialogues, when he is talking to atheistic scientists and all, when you read, especially the book called Life Comes from Life. But over a period of time, if you have some iota of sincerity, you will be forced to accept the truth. You cannot escape. Read the last part of the book, Life Comes from Life, backside. There are about 10 pages article. But that is about, there was one atheist living in Sri Lanka. His name was Dr. Kovur. He was openly blaspheming God and religion, and he was ridiculing Dharma. At that time, ISKCON started a new branch there. ISKCON devotees just arrived there and they came to know Dr. Kovur. So, and there was one scientist devotee, our Hamsaduta Prabhu. He saw his articles in the paper and then he gave him a challenge. Oh, you are saying that life comes from chemicals? Here we are presenting the truth that life cannot be produced from chemicals. And Kovur argued, no, life can be produced. Then back and forth the letters went on, which is published in Life Comes from Life book backside. Then our Hamsadut Prabhu said, 1 crore rupees he kept. He said, on this particular hall, we will be assembling 2,000 people. And on that day, I will give you 1 crore if you produce one mosquito from dead matter. And Kovur talked big things and he kept quiet. He didn't come. He didn't come. So it's all published. And Prabhupada was laughing and Prabhupada said, wonderful, publish everything in paper, he said. Let go in the paper. Prabhupada said, very good challenge you gave that fellow. So, see, this is what makes ISKCON different from any typical religious organization. In any religious organization, 2 people will be common, very old women and children. They will be in very big number. You can see many of the big satsangas which happen in big pandal programs, because very old ladies and small children, they don't need any logic. They don't need any logic or reason or anything. But in ISKCON, you will find you are allowed to ask questions and you can be given answers. So you will see that Prabhupada, even in his times, Prabhupada very strongly and vigorously preached, even established BI. So all your skepticism will be kicked out of the window. Then with a bottom of the heart, with a transparent heart, you can approach the Vedic literature. Otherwise, your so-called study of the Vedic literature is simply an eyewash. If you don't have a full faith in the Veda Vak, those who approach the Veda Vak as word of God, God is directly speaking. That kind of approach you have, then only. Otherwise, you can wear tilak, you can wear kantimala, you can dance with devotees, but you are simply cheating yourself because you don't have full Shraddha right from the bottom of your heart. That's why Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya. Bhajana Kriya is done with great attentiveness and sincerity when the truth is accepted honestly. Correct, no? And then the anartha nivritti means all the unwanted, kama, krodha, lobha, mada, moha, matsarya, all these things will be driven out of the heart. And then one comes to nishtha. Nishtha means one is fixed up in the truth. Satsangatva, nisangatte, nisangatva, nirmohatve, nirmohatva, nischalatatve, nischalatatva, jivan mukti. It is said, one gets jivan mukti. Jivan mukti means kaya, vacha, manasa. One is engaged in Lord's service. One becomes aloof from material component. So, in the stage of nishtha, what is the difference between the stage prior to nishtha and the nishtha stage? The difference is, say you have a mango sapling. Sapling is a small plant. In wind also it moves like this. You have seen that? It doesn't have any mango fruits. It's very small plant it is. And if even a child can twist it and pull it out, it will come out. Our initial Shraddha is Komal Shraddha. It's like that, like a mango sapling. But when you come to Nishtha stage, it is like a thick mango tree. You cannot move it 1 millimeter also. Once the tree grows, where is the question of uprooting it? I always used to have a question, is our faith always going up and down? The answer is no. Because beyond Nishtha stage, nobody can shake your faith. Because you start seeing the truth. There are 5 stages of knowledge. Beginning with Pratyaksha, Paroksha, Aparoksha, Adokshaja, Aprakrita. There are 5 stages. Pratyaksha means, Prati Aksha. Which means you see a great Vaishnava's good qualities, and you are charmed, and you copy his activities. He is bowing down, you also bow down. He wears tilak. Some boys say, hey, I like the tilak you guys wear. Can you put for me also? Here, many people are putting there. You can see that. They see the devotees and they also want to wear. Because they think it makes you feel good. You are actually, if you wear tilak, of course they will wear tilak here, but they may not be knowing all the four regs. They should not wear tilak and smoke a cigarette. They should not do that. You know, we have to tell them, if you're wearing it there itself, we should write the four regulative principles. If you are wearing tilak, you should follow the four regs, correct? Now? So, that pratyaksha means you see others and you imitate. Correct, no? You, somebody is singing very sincerely, you also follow them. And pratyaksha paroksha means para aksha. You see the truth in this world through others' eyes. Which means, Guru tells you and you honestly accept it. You cannot see it, but you have faith in Guru's words. For example, two kids are meeting. One kid is saying, hey, let us touch this blue flame which is in the gas stove. Another kid is, hey, don't touch. Why? He says, it will burn your finger. He says, really? How do you know that? Did you touch it? No, I didn't touch it. But how do you know? Papa ne bola. Papa has told. So the child has faith in father's words. So he will not touch. Why? Because father has told not to touch. That is called paroksha. Paroksha means do this, don't do this. When your superiors tell you, you have faith in them. You just accept it. Then third is called aparoksha. Means what? Whatever they have been telling you, now you start seeing it now. Now it's not that you are accepting because they are telling you. Now what they told is the old news for you. Now you are yourself seeing the truth. You can clearly see what they are saying. It's like, one boy was telling, he was told to give a class. He went and told his friend, sense gratification, is poison. Like that he said in the class. And his friends challenged him, how do you say sense gratification is poison? If you put a gulab jamun in my mouth, I get taste, And you are saying that contact of senses and sense objects is, he said, Krishna says, no, he says, yehi samsprashaja bhoga dukkha yone evate. It gives suffering. Where is suffering? Here is gulab jamun, here is tongue. I am enjoying. And he said, what can I say? Krishna is saying that I don't know. He said. That means his knowledge is bookish knowledge, correct, no? But when he becomes little more understanding comes, he will say, hey, when you eat gulab jamun, the moment you put in the mouth and eat one gulab jamun, what happens? It is there to eat, one more comes. And then when you eat second one, what happens? One more. And you eat until the point you get stomachache. Correct, no? You will see that you want to eat a lot. When you eat, you want to eat more and more and more. And the more and more you eat, you get suffering. Therefore, he says, the nature of sense gratification is, it begins with a little thrill, ends in peril. Then one suffers like that. So, then one has more understanding. Correct, no? Like one boy was telling, he works in a ship, he's in merchant navy. He was telling, Prabhuji, when I first heard the Prabhupada example of fish out of water, I was wondering, why Swamiji says fish out of water suffers and all. He said, after I finished my course, I went to the ship. In the ship, he said there were no devotees, all non-devotees eating meat, drinking wine. He was the only devotee there. He said, I was like a fish out of water inside the ship. Although I was in the middle of the ocean, I was like a fish out of water. I understood what it means to be away from devotees. He realized it. So now nobody needs to convince him. He has personal realization. He has his own realization, yes. So in this way, pratyaksha, paroksha, aparoksha. And then one comes to the stage of adokshaja. See, aksha means eyes, ja means born. Aksha ja means, adha means you push down what you see with your eyes, perceive with your eyes. And that is adokshaja stage, where you start seeing spiritual things. That's the fourth stage. For example, such a devotee can see all the gunas in action. Once His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Maharaj was telling to all of us, we were in IIT attending his class. See, go to the street. Look in the street, there are so many people walking, going and coming. Imagine a beautiful girl is passing by. You see, he said, don't see her. He said, see the men around her. Look at their eyes. How they look at her. Stare at a beautiful woman passing by, isn't it? whether you are a young man or an old man, everybody is this. He said, that is Rajoguna, he said. So that means he is able to see Rajoguna in people. Correct, no? Tamaguna in people, Sattaguna in people. So what common people don't get to see, when you go to Adhokshaja stage, one can see those things. For example, when he looks at the deity, he will not see the deity as a doll or something. He will see Krishna there. That's why you will see the initial understanding of deity is a beautiful doll. People think like that. Then after some period of time, you advance in spiritual life. When you see then you see him as a person. Oh, he's a person. Then when you further keep seeing him, you feel a relationship with him. Yeah. And then when you go even further, you can get reciprocation from him. In this way, the realization of the Lord gets deeper and deeper and deeper with that vision. Adhokshaja vision means you can see Kala in action. Bhaktivinoda Maharaj took me to one house. One very big government officer, his wife had died. And he told, I have to go and meet him. He is very much grief-stricken, that you go and meet. So when we entered his house, when he opened the door, he was wearing a lungi and a banyan. He opened the door, loudly cried, oh, like that he cried. And he sat on the ground, waving his hands and legs like a child. He was almost close to 55, 60 years old. Bhaktivinoda Maharaj lifted him up and put him in sofa. Again he got down. He sat down. Maharaj was telling, please be peaceful, peace. He was not ready to be peaceful. And Maharaj said, why are you crying like this? He said, you see, I had kept my wife for treatment in a private hospital. And my wife wanted to go to a government hospital because there was one known doctor there for us in government hospital. But I refused her. I told her, you should be in a private hospital, we get better treatment there. But she passed away. So he felt that because of my not listening to her request, therefore she passed away. That was his. And Maharaj said, you spend 10 times more money than a government hospital. So why do you worry? Maharaj asked him. He said, money I spent, but I did not fulfill her wish. Therefore I am broken hearted now. Maybe if I put her in government hospital, maybe she might have been saved. And Maharaj said, no, no, no. You see, if you have a tonic bottle, it's written, expiry date is written. Similarly, somebody is Alpayush, Madhyayush, Dirghayush. Alpayush people live only 30 years only. Madhyayush people live till 60. Dirghayush people live till 90 also, some of them. So your wife's lifespan is over now. Her expiry date has come. God has taken away. Don't worry. Oh, it was so difficult to pacify him. Prabhuji also said, Nainam Chindanti, Shastrani, all that also he told them. Anyway, after 1 hour when we were leaving, on the way, Prabhuji was sharing with me. He said, just see how much the jiva gets affected when somebody leaves the body. Actually, soul never dies. He just leaves one body. He says, Dhiras tatra na mukhyati. Actually when jiva leaves one body and goes to another body, it gets another body. Because he is thinking it is my wife. He is seeing like that. He should actually see this jiva is Krishna's part and parcel. You should see like that. Similarly, my house, one should not think, this is Krishna's house. One devotee asked one Maharaj in Pune, Maharaj, can you come to my house? I am having a housewarming ceremony. So can you visit my house? He said. Maharaj said, is it your house or Lord's house? Maharaj, for Lord also I have given a place in my house. Again Maharaj said, wait a minute. Have you given a place for the Lord in your house, or Lord has allowed you to stay in the house? One Maharaj asked. So then he thought and said, Maharaj, I am not able to understand. He said, yes, you can't understand because you think house is yours. Isn't it? So then he said, actually Griha Pravesh means, first who will do Pravesh? Lord will do. He will sanctify the house and you are also allowed to stay there. And in this way you should tell the Lord, here is your altar, my Lord, I will worship you, I am your servant, my wife is your servant, my children are your servants, we all are your servants. We all are serving you and we are like servants allowed to live in the same house. That's a correct understanding. Not that I am a Jamindar staying in the house, I am the Raja and my wife is the queen, my children are Praja and compound wall is our kingdom. And I have also given Lord one room. Okay, Lord, you can also stay here one corner. Correct, no? You see how the understanding, correct, no? Perception can be different. So when one goes to Adokshita stage, he thinks actually Lord owns everything. He's the controller of everything. One can see that. So he can see things which common people cannot see with eyes. And that is where the realization begins, in Adokshita stage. And then Aprakrita stage, a devotee can speak to the Lord. And the Lord, devotee feels a very strong, thick bond of affection. Lord is my friend. Lord is my child. Lord is my beloved lover. One can feel that very strong connection in the Aprakrita stage. Aprakrita means he cannot see anything material. Like yesterday we were hearing a pastime from Yogalakishore Prabhu. The Chaitanya Bhagavat, there is a pastime. And Lord Chaitanya was going, there was one toll naka in charge, one like a traffic policeman. He was standing there in toll. He was asking to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu wanted to go, cross and go. Wait a minute. Are you alone or is somebody with you? And immediately, as soon as he asked the question, immediately tears, sprang in the eyes of Mahaprabhu, like Ganga and Yamuna Pravah. And Mahaprabhu was sobbing. He said, yes, that personality Shyam, he has left me all alone in this world. In this morbid world, there is no one to take care of me. I am all alone. He has made me an anath and he has disappeared. He's not with me. So he was feeling separation from Krishna when he asked, are you alone? Who was feeling separation? In the mood of Srimati Radharani. So that means they don't see anything material. They only see, anybody asks any question, it only registers as spiritual. Like he says, Pratima Tuminahi Sakshat Rajendra Nandan. You are not deity, you are Sakshat Krishna himself. He sees like that. Because he sees the deity as Lord, the Lord also reciprocates with him as, deity. In Tamil there is a song, Devam Yendralad Devam Silai Yendralad Silaidan. He says, if you see him as deity, he will behave with you as a deity. Yetamam. You see him as just an ordinary doll or murti, he will behave accordingly. So he is going to reciprocate with whatever vision with which we see him. So in the Aprakrita stage, one feels a very strong bond with Krishna. Like for example, you ask somebody, hey, can we go ahead with this? Wait a minute, I have to check with my spiritual master, or I have to check with my seniors. How many of you have seen some people saying this? That means they are feeling a connection. Or some people you ask them, hey, can you go ahead with this? Go ahead. Prabhuji, you have to ask your senior. Usko kya pata hai? Main bol dunga usko. I will inform him after we do it, Prabhu. That means you don't feel any connection. So if you don't feel connection with Vaishnavas, then how can we feel connection with Lord? It's just not. So sense of belonging with Vaishnavas begins much before the sense of belonging with the Lord. Of course, many people sentimentally feel sense of belonging with deities. They are not in the Aprakrita stage. There are many people, claiming to be having a, like one man in the train, he saw me and he said, yesterday night Vishnu spoke to me and things like that. There are people like that. Many people talk like that. That's all sentimental. They say all these things, they go to watch movie also. They watch movie, they sing cinema songs, they are also attracted to cinema actors and actresses. So I asked him, who is your favorite actress? And he told, I said, this goes to show you didn't see Vishnu. Isn't it? You still have a favorite actress? I said, all the heroes will become zeros in this world. And then he told him the difference between a Jugnu and the sun. Correct now? All the heroines of this world are like Jugnu. You know Jugnu? Jugnu is glowworm. Glowworm can show off where? Only in darkness of the night. In the daylight of the sun can the glowworm show? So all the actors and actresses, you can lump them in one lot, they are good for nothing in front of Krishna's beauty. If somebody is attracted to any of the false heroes and heroines of the world, their darshan of the Lord is simply eyewash. This cheating. So these 5 stages, one goes through that. So in this way, the gradual realization. Now what changes in realization? Not that the deity changes. The deity, the Guru, the Vaishnavas, the Charanamrit, that will remain the same. But what changes is, the covering between us and the Lord, which was there. Just like the cloud does not cover the sun. The cloud covers our vision of the sun. Cloud is way below and sun is way above. But our vision is now clouded by, my body, my mind, my likes, my dislikes. Uh, the more our ahankara makes us think, I am a boy, I am a girl, I have, this is my degree, this is my house, this is my car. This kind of ideas called ahankar, that is actually like a cloud, does not allow us to see the Lord. If the divine, in a divine outlook, we are not able to see. And just like the gross body gets dissolved at the time of death, similarly the subtle body also, with over a period of lifetimes, it gradually gets dissolved by study of the Srimad Bhagavatam, by chanting of the holy names, association with devotees, and coming to the Nishtha stage. So as the material component is getting dissolved, Jarayatya Kosham Nigirinam Analo Yatha, like that Kapila is saying, the subtle body will also be burned away. To the degree we have spiritualized the subtle body, to that degree we are ascending in our vision. To the degree our subtle body is filled with, plans for material enjoyment, to that degree our vision is material, mundane. So therefore, then how do we spiritualize our subtle body? So we have, that is why one of the most important things is the devotional austerities. The devotional austerities, rising early in the morning, coming in contact with spiritual items, coming in contact with the Lord's deity form, coming in contact with the songs, Vaishnava songs, coming in contact with the Srimad Bhagavatam, come in contact with the devotees, come in contact with Charanamrit, maximize Krishna time, minimize Maya time. So those who maximize Krishna time, over a period of time you will see they get more and more and more spiritualized by that. We have to allow that. Some people are afraid of that. They are afraid of getting purified. Just like, for example, a child gets up in the morning. What does he do first thing when a child gets up in the morning? You will start. You have seen that? Similarly, our mind is very morose early in the morning. Oh, I have to take bath. Some people who get up, they don't take bath for 2 hours also. Many people. I'm not telling about devotees. Devotees are great. I'm telling generally. Correct, no? Before. So people don't take bath. They are drinking bed coffee and postponing bath, you see. But when one becomes a devotee, rise early in the morning, and sattva should be increased. When sattva guna is increased and we are coming in contact with devotional paraphernalia, chanting with prayerful mood and attention, hearing the Bhagavatam class with great enthusiasm and eagerness, and contemplating on the subject heard, and hearing with not only ears, hearing with the heart also, attentive ear and open mindset. Then we are able to assimilate the message, what we hear from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And while eating prasad, offer a prayer and express one's gratitude to the Lord. And you will see what are the symptoms of one who is getting realization. The first symptom you will see, they are getting a higher taste and the lower tastes are going away. Prema bhaktiyaha hoite. Then you will see that they don't want to go to cinemas, they don't want to sing cinema songs, they don't want to play cricket, chess, and all those things are gone. They don't eat meat. I mean, they strictly follow the 4 relative principles. They don't even eat any food which is not offered to Krishna. They'll eat only prasad. And they don't like bad association. They consciously keep away from bad company. Bad people, bad ambience, bad habits. They will go away. And they will be substituted with good habits. They like to take out time to come to temple, take darshan of the Lord. Oh, today is a festival, we should go, and they want to do service more. They are taking increased rounds of chanting. We see commitment increases in chanting, and also in reading, hearing. They delight in spiritual activities. They thrive. Just like pig is delighting in ditch, mosquito is also delighting in a gutter water. Crow is delighting in a dustbin. Similarly, if you see the swans, they delight in Manasarovar lake, drinking pure milk, isn't it? Cow will only eat grass. If a cow, you give cow, meat, cow will die, but she will not eat meat. She follows her dharma. So similarly, when we develop a higher taste, we will only take in spiritual items. This is one of the symptoms. Param drishtva nivartate. This. And another thing is, the devotee develops great respect for Guru and Vaishnavas and Prabhupada, and they have deep affection and respect for Acharyas. And they like to study about their lives, emulate their model, and follow their teachings in their life very faithfully. And one is very afraid and cautious to offend by other Vaishnavas or offend the whole. They are very careful about that. This is one of the symptoms also. And they chant inoffensively in a very prayerful mood. The mechanical chanting will go away, and the chanting will start giving some taste. After the chanting, one will feel, oh, such a wonderful vibration. I feel like chanting some more rounds. One will feel like that. So chanting becomes effortless, and hearing Bhagavatam becomes effortless, and performing devotion service becomes natural. It's like you had a viral fever, you took antibiotics. After 3-4 days, how do you feel? The viral fever is gone. Like that one feels, my material feverishness is going away. One is very comfortable in Krishna consciousness. Earlier, it was not like that. In the beginning stage of Krishna consciousness, sometimes, they pull you for the class, you don't want to come, you try to escape, isn't it? Chanting also is like climbing out of the Krishna, the people are biting the mantra, isn't it? Yeah. And sometimes people jump up and they run here and there. There was a boy who was putting water jet, in the eyes, jumping up and down, Hare Krishna, he was like, waving the bead. He was telling this Maharaj, Devam Swami Maharaj was on that day in the temple. He said, my Lord, he is waving the beads like anything. He says, why do you struggle? Holy name is like gulab jamun, taste it nicely. It's not like chikli, you have to bite it or something. Chikli, is it? Chikki also, chikki also, you have to bite it. And chakli they call it, chakli and chikki also, you have to bite it, whereas holy name is like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Maharaj is telling that is because we are struggling with our mind. Manashrasthani, Indriyani, Prakritistani. That's what he was telling. So, in this way, all the devotional items become relishable for us as we advance in realization. Because then the heart comes. When heart comes, everything becomes enjoyable. So, in this way, the knowledge, from ignorance to knowledge, knowledge to realization. That's why we say, Divyajnana Hriday Kashito. Prema Bhakti Yaha Hoite Avidya. So, Divyajnana, the transcendental knowledge, what you read in the books, should not remain bookish knowledge. The bookish knowledge should become Hriday Prakashito. Which means when Krishna is pleased with us, he will reveal the truths. Then, see, the revelation means top down. And realization means down top. So how does realization comes? By, as I told you, maximize Krishna time, minimize Maya time. Maximize devotional engagements and spiritualize like iron rod put in fire. And minimize Maya contact. So when we do this, this is our part. So that means sincere and enthusiastic devotional services rendered. And then strict and attentive sadhana, isn't it? And reading with relish. After doing all these things, then offering prayer to Lord, begging the Lord for realization. When we do these things. And then we win the heart of some Vaishnava and earn their blessings. This is all we can do. When we do these things, then by their blessings, when Nimai Pandit also was folding the clothes and giving to the Vaishnavas in the bank of Ganges, isn't it? When some Vaishnava would be in the water, old Vaishnava, he would go and give his 2 hands and lift their shoulders up and bring them out of the water. Some Vaishnava would want to do Gayatri, he would give them a kusha grass mat. Okay, sit and do chanting. And all these Vaishnavas didn't know Nimai Pandit is Krishna. They thought of him to be some small boy. They would touch his head and say, Krishna Matirastu. May you become blissfully Krishna conscious. So, Nimai Pandit is teaching us, we have to attract the blessings of Hari Guru and Vaishnavas. So, apart from our own enthusiastic endeavors and attentive sadhana and everything, we have to also pray to Lord for help. And we also have to attract the blessings. With all these things, when the realization dawns, little drops of, just like in the morning, even before the sun rises, the sky becomes lit up. You've seen that? That itself is so joyful. What to speak of full sun coming up? Eventually, full sun will come up also. So in this way, here, it is there is a talk about the deity, Archa Vigraha. And what to speak of we human beings worshipping Archa, in all the 9 varshas, you find that, like in Ilavrata Varsha, Prahlad is worshipping the deity of the Supreme Lord. There are deities there in many of these places. The temples and deities are there not only here on the earth, many other places of the universe also. The Lord is worshipped in his deity form. Vibhishan was also worshipping the deity form of the Lord. One last thing I will say and conclude. In Ayodhya, there was one Brahman who refused to eat or even drink water. He was fasting for several weeks. And Lord Ram came to know that. He called the Brahman. He asked the Brahman, hey Brahman, why are you not eating or drinking water? What happened to you? He said, my dear Lord, when you go out of station to other places, without seeing you, I cannot eat anything. I cannot drink any water. So Lord Ram arranged for a murti to be made exactly like himself. And he gifted to that Brahman and said, whenever I go out, you can worship this murti. So the Prabhupada says it in one lecture. So, and the Brahman did not see any difference between Lord Ram and that murti, because Ram himself gave him. So in this way, we faithfully worship the deity, that the Lord will bring us to the fifth stage of aprakrita stage. In Vrindavan, when we had gone for one yatra, there was one temple where my spiritual master glorified one pujari for a long time. He said, look, all of you think for a moment, this pujari joined at the age of 8, till 88 he has served. Now he is 88, his body is completely emaciated, completely, very, very old. He's 88 now, still he is worshipping the deity. Every day he is doing abhishek and dressing the Lord, feeding him. And he was inside the sanctum sanctorum. We could only faintly see him. He was not ready to come out. Although our Guru Maharaj told us, you take the dust off his feet on your head, he said. He was not ready to give dust. Very humble Vaishnava. But 80 years he has worshipped. So if somebody worships the Lord, considering him as Krishna himself, based on Guru's teachings, then you study Shastra, chant, and then the Lord will eventually reveal to such a devotee. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Even our Prabhupada worshipped Radha Govind, correct, na? Radha Govind. And Jiva Goswami worshipped who? Radha Damodar. Of course, Radha Damodar. No, I am asking when he was small boy also. Yeah, Radha Govind. And also when Uddhava was a small kid, mother would call, hey, come for breakfast. What he will say? No, I have to dress the deity first and worship. First I'll offer him poga, then I'll come. Parikshit also worship the deities. So many of the great souls who became great souls later, Uddhava, Jiva Goswami, Parikshit, they have worshipped. In ISKCON, I see many of the congregation devotees give the children some deities. To worship is a very good habit, it is. Because they develop great attraction, affection for the Lord when they grow up. That will come to great help. Initially it may be a childish play, but eventually they will become realized devotees. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, one question. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for a wonderful class. Prabhuji, this spiritual realization, Divya Chakshu, can be there when there is a spiritual realization. And a spiritual realization comes at the stage of Nishtha. And Nishtha comes after Anartha Nivritti.
Correct.
But at our stage, like where Anarthas are there already and we have been practicing for so long, so don't we are not qualified to get some spiritual realization that
No,
we are
some you will definitely get. If you are not getting, you won't be here also. Actually, how many of you have experienced someday chanting was good? Someday. See, everybody has hands up, correct, no? That one few droplets of taste is so strong, that keeps us going. Correct, no? Some of the days, early morning, you chant before Mangalarti. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, going on. You feel so ecstasy, you feel that let the whole world stop to exist. You can go on chanting. So in everything we get taste. In kirtan, don't you get taste? In prasad? Isn't it? Yeah. Prasad is, even Steve Jobs remembers what he ate in ISKCON. Although he made the biggest money in the world, still he is remembering only ISKCON Khichdi. Correct, no? So there are, and also deities are sometimes how they are decorated in festival days. So we have lot of things that give us taste. That's what keeps us going. But the realized stage is a very advanced stage when even some amount of realization comes. There the material things will be very easy for you to kick away. Right now, what is the situation for average devotee? You will see that one is getting some taste also, but material life doesn't leave us easily. It's holding on, like Vetal and Vikramaditya, you heard, no? Again and again Vetal comes back, correct, no? So that is very frustrating. The devotee wonders, hey, I am the devotee, why again and again Maya is coming? I don't want, again Maya comes. Again, you are practicing little bit, again, comes, goes, like that. But once we come to the Nishtha and Ruchi stage, see, even in Ruchi, mind can go to Maya to some degree. But Asakti is the stage which is next to Ruchi. In that stage, mind will run to Krishna even without taking permission from you. Automatically mind will run to Krishna. Just like right now, mind runs to sense gratification. Like that. So, these stages are all very nicely explained in Madhurya Kadambini, correct now? But for me, I feel that the kind of life I have achieved in this lifetime, surrounded by devotees, eating prasad, studying Bhagavatam, chanting the holy name, living in a Krishna's temple, I am. So I feel that like Ajamila was living in the Vishnu temple in Haridwar, daily taking bath in Ganges. He was studying the Gita Bhagavatam and everything. Company of sadhus he was living, worshipping the Lord and everything. So we have achieved something like that. In 12 years, he perfected his life and Vaikuntha plane came and took him. So we are also doing such a type of life. So I feel so much joy that in this lifetime, after millions of lifetimes, we have come into a very strong company of devotional organization like ISKCON. So that itself is a big achievement for us. And we just have to stick on without jumping out of the ship right now. If we just stick on in this good association till our last breath, that itself is perfect, because actually Prabhupada says, you chant 16 rounds, follow 4x all your life, at the time of death you'll go back to Godhead. Prabhupada said. My Guru Maharaj used to say, if a Mataji in her kitchen, daily she's cooking and offering to Krishna and Guru, she's hearing the lectures, some recording she's hearing or hearing kirtan and cooking. Faithfully she serves. Nobody in the world will know what a wonderful devotee she is. But she will go back to Godhead. She doesn't have to worry, what is Bhava, Prema and all that. Because Krishna insists on steady devotional service. Start small and stay consistent. Then start big and give up. He says, never give up. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrata namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yuktau. So nitya is the most important thing. If you have practiced persistently all your life, you don't have to worry about anything beyond that. Because this is the best you can do. The squirrel who became an internationally popular figure. Who is that squirrel? The Rama squirrel. Why he was so much appreciated? Because he gave his best capacity. Did he really do anything for Setuban? Tell me. Honestly, let us be practical, correct, no? Practically speaking, his small stone he gave, did it contribute in any big way? But he didn't do anything very big. The only qualification he had, Ram told Hanuman, see, you are doing your service according to your capacity, and this poor squirrel, small one, he did according to his best. So all of you ask this question to yourself, are you giving your best you feel, or there is little more you have to do in order to give the best? What do you think? Actually, we should be surprised that so much we are chasing after Maya, still Krishna is keeping us. How many of you are surprised like that? Correct, no? Isn't it? And although our mind runs after Maya many times, Krishna is so kind, he catches the collar and pulls us back. Hey, don't go there, come here, come here. So we should be grateful. We are not running after Krishna at the moment. We are running more after Maya. Still we are kept in association. We should be grateful. But a time will come when we will be simply satisfied with Krishna and not look for Maya. No? And then our progress is going to be very rapid at that time. But we are getting some taste. Yes, Prabhu. Professor Hare Krishna. Achha, yeah.
Prabhuji, I have a question, Prabhuji. You spoke very nicely about ignorance, knowledge and realization. So many things we get knowledge, but we are not realized yet. How do you share unrealized knowledge? What is the mood to share unrealized knowledge?
For sharing unrealized knowledge with others, there are some things. Realization is not a very big thing. I could tell you this boy who went to the merchant navy, in the ship. So can he share the realization that when I went to the ship, I was like a fish out of water? Can he share or not? Share. So that is also realization, because he has realized that without devotee sangha, I suffer. That's one of the realizations, correct, no? In this way, we can have small realizations also. And as you advance, then more advanced, deeper realization will come. Say, for example, I have to give a whole lecture on humility, but I don't have myself humility. I am struggling with humility. Then how will I give the lecture? Very simple. You prepare from great souls like your spiritual master and others, and you can say that this topic is beyond my realization. But I have made a very good notes based on what I heard from my spiritual master. So I'm sharing with all of you. All of you can also make an effort to practice, and I will also join you in practicing. So we can give like that. Correct, no? We can repeat something which is beyond our realization. Correct, no? That is all. As to yourself. Recently, my spiritual master spoke on Raganuga Bhakti. I have the notes also with me. So he made one very good point. You can have knowledge of Raganuga Bhakti, but not realization of Raganuga Bhakti. Huh? He said there are many, many devotees nowadays giving on Madhurya Kadambini, even up to Prema. Huh? We can speak with great enthusiasm, but we don't have the realization of that stage. Then how that knowledge will turn into realization? He said, actually, you have to become truly humble, genuinely tolerant, and respectful to all the spiritual items, Hari, Guru, Vaishnavas and everything. So when you are able to draw the blessings of Hari, Guru, Vaishnavas, then only the realization will come, he was telling. So otherwise, there are many people very technical in ISKCON. They can speak very, very deep things about even Ashtakaliya Leela. They can speak about Krishna and Gopi Leela and all that. Actually, knowledge alone is not realization. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for wonderful class. In your class, you are mentioning regarding the purport. That is one important thing, mundane and spiritual vision. I'm so happy to see that Prabhupada had such a wonderful vision in the initial stages of ISKCON, where few devotees are there, he could visually see that international society will come. In this purport, there is a sentence where it is saying that the same God is represented by the deity in this material world, which is only 1/4 of his creation. And somehow
spiritual world is called Tripada Vibhuti, material world is called Ekapada Vibhuti. So Tripada means 3/4 of Lord's energies are in spiritual world. Only 1/4 is in material world.
So like that, it is 1/4 of total creation. Because creation itself is total, material world is 1/4 of.
Bahiranga Shakti is only 1/4. 3/4 is Antaranga Shakti.
Okay.
That means most of the souls are having nice pastimes with Krishna there. Only few are here.
Okay.
Clear,
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. I can announce. One last question, Prabhu, quick. You can speak loudly. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for your wonderful class, Prabhu. Prabhuji, one of the things I am also struggling is that when we are in spiritual quest and the spiritual path, our material path takes a backseat. In one way, we justify that. But mediocrity is what creeps in your professional life. Because of this, that is not the right thing that one is really pursuing then. Because you are not pursuing spirituality in the right way. How do you overcome that mediocrity in the material professional life that you are endeavoring? That's my question. Hare Krishna.
Actually, we have to perform our best both in material and spiritual, but at the same time, one has to keep a balance between the two. See, in material life also, there is no end to learning nowadays. There's so much information explosion is happening. And in material life, if you compete with non-devotees, then you will have to compromise a lot on your spiritual life. Like, for example, when you come home, you are planning for preaching, correct, no? Preaching Krishna consciousness, everything. But there are also people who go more and more higher and higher in material life, correct or not? Is there a limit to growing in material life? Yeah. So therefore, we have to make some kind of, I would say, time allotment. This much for spiritual life, this much for material life. So we cannot go overboard. And I am not telling people that you should be irresponsible in material life. You have your duty to wife, children, mother, father, family, friends. You also have duty to company. Therefore, we say morning for Krishna, daytime for profession, evening for family. We say you have to give time like that. At the same time, materially you want to excel, not remain in mediocrity. For excelling, you have to work very hard nowadays also. There is no end to learning. Like nowadays, AI is developing so much. The more you learn, the more is coming up. Then some devotees may become very, in spiritual life, they do the rock bottom minimum. Just 16 rounds over now. Rest of the time, they are with material life. Then they can grow in material life. At the end of their life, they won't have much spiritual realizations. If you want spiritual realization, we have to give some time, sufficient time for spirituality also, in terms of janma sarthaka kuri karapara upakar. But in material mediocrity versus material excellence, I can tell you one more thing. Some people are born materially very talented. Huh? Even with, like Dr. Kalam, for example, born with that type of mind, IQ and everything. There are people. He was also a spiritual minded man. Huh? He learned many shlokas. He quoted many shlokas when he was in South India. He's professor. His hero, you know who it is? Balasubramaniam. So he used to do puja half a day practically. Yeah? He was completely absorbed in religiosity. But in material subjects, he was like genius. If Kalam is adoring him, we can understand what kind of person he is. Correct, no? So there are people like that, I have seen, who are very, very smart in material subject without much effort. Probably it's coming from the previous life. On the other hand, if we want to go beyond mediocrity to that level of material perfection, probably we may work very hard and then spiritual life will go for a toss. Therefore, we have to have a balance. So thank you. Shri Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki,
Hare Krishna.
Granthraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
So we'd like to Prabhuji. The class was going on and with so many examples, so many illustrations Prabhuji was explaining. Thank Prabhuji by once chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. So with every example, it was like Karela juice coming in gulab jamun form.